Before I let you go, it would be amiss if I didn't ask you, with all the stuff you're doing in modern medicine and healthcare and all these things that you're disrupting, obviously you have an entrepreneurial spirit, but you're also a martial artist. So what lessons has Jiu Jitsu and your time in the mats taught you that have helped you in your business?
With judo and jiu-jitsu, I mean, again, we can get into, if we want to get into the real history of all that, it all stems from Japanese jiu-jitsu, right? So, when the samurais and the shoguns lost all their weapons, they'd go to hand-to-hand combat. So they all came from that. And then from there, they extrapolated the stand-up techniques and some of the other newaza ground techniques, and they made judo from Jigoro Kano. And then on the jiu-jitsu side, a lot of it came from people came over and they went to Brazil and they would teach the Gracies. And so they had these teachers and Mori Yamamata, who came over and said, all right, we're going to teach the Brazilians jiu-jitsu. And then they grifted on that and became beautiful Brazilian jiu-jitsu. In Japan, through judo, it's the kata. So it's very disciplined kind of thing. So martial arts for me like helped enforce discipline and structure and the way that things are taught and broke down, and it made sense, right? So there's a foundation to it as you come up, almost like the Karate Kid, like,
Mhm.
you're sitting there, wax on, wax off. The guy's like,
Yeah.
what the hell is all this? This doesn't do anything for me. Then all of a sudden you apply it to the martial art, right? It makes sense. With Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, same way. Like most Brazilians are like, oh, this is the way you do it like this, and you do it like this, and you do. And it's like, okay, I'm a little confused because that's you watch. But then when John would teach, so you have John Danaher teaching, he used clear, concise building blocks. Like it's almost like a whole system that he would teach. And that was very concise. That was very like, all right, it's multiple movements for this. You have to kind of stop, slow down, either take notes or take mental notes on why. So it's not like here's the movement, but he also teach you the why, right? This is why it works, right? And then there was other instructors of his, like Max Magar would do the same thing. He's over in Reno. And then, Tony and Eric do it at Mushin, but it's always the whys, right? Like, what are the whys? And so for this, it's like, all right, if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to really, you ask the questions like you ask yourselves, like, why? Right, I understand, like this is the thing, this is the application to it, but why does it work? So it's asking the whys and really slowing down, doing things in like a routine. So having yourself in a routine is the best way to kind of get out there and do it. It's like, even if it's subtle thing, it's like, all right, get up, have coffee, brush your teeth, like do your stretches. And you don't make an excuse for that. You have to do those things. And then it sets you up for the rest of the day. Make your bed. All those things are basic, small little things, but they're small wins. So the more small wins you build, then the bigger things that you think are insurmountable happen easily. It's getting a routine, positive mindset, like don't be in the doldrums, right? It's real easy to get sulked in. And I've done it several times where that situation happens and you kind of replay that doldrum in your head. Like, how can I got myself out of it? You learn, but you can't live there, right? It's also the people you hang out with. So it's
Yeah.
like you're hanging out and people are dragging you down, or they're not the same level that you want to be at. You got to get rid of them. Like you either get rid of them or you put them at arm's length and you're like, hey, we'll hang out once in a while, but you need people to find people that have the same drive. And it could be different industries, right? It could be in all different things. But as long as you have the same drive, that builds like other, right? That builds your action potential where you're like, here's these firing, but if you're strong and I'm strong, well, the action potential really goes up higher. And so that's as far as like you wanted to say a few things with more. And then also too, like people you roll with in jiu-jitsu, you could roll with like guys you beat down all the time. You're not going to get better. Yeah, you could say, oh, I learned this move. I'm going to try it on all these guys that don't know whatever. But what gets you better is rolling with guys that are better than you, right? So you want to be in better rooms. You want to fly across the country, see what it is to really like be in a place like Kingsway, or even like the B team side, who unorthodox but are excellent. And then you've got, at Henzo's in the basement, or go to Mushin, or go to these places. You'll see different styles. Like they come around the same way, but you see it. But the people that show up there are ratcheting it up to, give you a fight. That will test you, right? So you have to always kind of still like give yourself a little bit of a fight to see if you're battle tested, because you can't get comfortable. Once you get comfortable, you're done. Like that's just the detriment. And that's where you're at risk. It's good to be on, a little bit on edge. A little bit of anxiety is okay. Like people are like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
so, like, we're so quick to treat anxiety medication, or just like, oh, go on vacation. Like, yeah, you need that. You need a reset. You need rest days too. That's the other part. Like people don't have rest days. It's like, oh, well, I only worked 3 hours today, not 8 hours, not 12 hours the other day. But no, there are days you need to have zero, but a little anxiety is okay.